Hisam's gonna kill me because I'm late. But I just got off from work, and you guys know how that works. When I get off from work, it takes me a minute. I need to like get myself together. But okay, all right, hold on. Let me grab Hisam because he's gonna kill me. But we have so much to talk about. I feel like my lighting is it good? Like, do we like this? Okay, let me grab Hisam. Hey, hey, hey. I'm so sorry. I am late. Yes, you are correct. I am late. And yes, I do deserve a spanking for being late. I hope that you can give it to me because of the fact that, I wouldn't want it from anybody else.
You just told Hisam that he can stop wearing baseball caps. So Derek doesn't need to do that for you.
I love this
Whoever
baseball
that
hat.
was. Huh?
I love this baseball hat.
Thank you. Look, I got a haircut. Look,
I know
and
you look really good. I'm over here like I just want to make sure you're not going to try to play me like, Matt played Riley.
Ooh, girl.
Yes,
You
before we
know,
get
it's
into
so
everything,
fascinating, right?
let me
Like,
first start by saying, welcome to Over the Rainbow. This is Big D and Hisam, of course, where
hey,
we talk all things. And at first, I actually told Hisam because I feel like Hisam, you know, I'm not going to tell all his tea, was a little bit, just want to talk about some things. And I want to give Hisam a chance while I'm here to tell everybody what's his thoughts on the whole Matt interview. And was there anything that kind of stood out to you? I know you probably didn't listen to it because I know you don't want to waste your time with it. But I just want to know from the sneak peeks that you saw, was there anything that kind of stood out to you in that interview?
okay, okay. I am not trying to be messy because no offense, like as Matt said, no offense. But I am just perplexed at Matt post Big Brother because I actually thought I was on Truth Social for a minute, like with the amount of like lies and like fabrications that I heard in that interview. I was
Not,
like, you're on the wrong website.
not fabrication, not fabrications. Hold on.
God
Okay, what did,
dang.
okay, of course, I don't know any history of the whole Matt and Riley thing. I can only go off of what we saw on the live feeds, but you know what? It's an interesting type of situation because we know production does play a very big role into things. But what I found interesting was, if I'm correct, was there a part of him saying that he could beat you?
Yes. Okay. So here's the deal, right? So here's the deal. Like Matt and I played in four competitions together,
Okay.
right? The first one being the kicking butt competition.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, he basically believes that I was obsessed or I was angry after he beat me in that competition and
Oh.
that he somehow smoked me in that
Oh.
competition. And if you rewind the tape, you will see that I keep up with Matt pretty well throughout the competition and realizing I don't need to win this, throw it to Matt, like purposely look at Matt and slow down, like so that Matt can win.
Mm.
And the reason I want Matt to win is exactly what he says, is so I can paint a huge target on his back that he is the strongest physical competitor. Like what's amazing to me is that he believes, like somehow in his mind, that like he is the ultimate competitor, despite the fact that we competed in four challenges together. The balance competition, I beat him.
Right.
The hearing competition, I had an advantage, still beat him. And then the third competition was like the scary verse, like like Netherworld, beat him. Like I'm just blown away that he would basically believe that. And personally, I think like, isn't he supposed to be training for the Olympics? Like, isn't Is he not going to the Olympics? Like, what's the deal? Like,
I
maybe
don't.
you should spend more time training for the Olympics than talking about me. Like, that would actually be more fruitful.
I was not expecting this interview. I found it very interesting. And I haven't got a chance to meet Matt, so I don't know Matt. I don't have anything. And I don't think, like I said, I'm just allowing, I want you to speak because obviously your name was brought up, because I know in
Well,
reality.
and then he's like, and then he says that thing about Reilly, that he was never interested in Reilly. And I was like, yo, brother, like, you came to my room crying, trying to get me to keep Reilly. And then in your exit interview is like, I'm getting rid of you because you disrupted my showmance. And now he's like, I was never interested in Reilly. I was like, justice to Reilly. I was like, whoever thought I would say that, but justice to Reilly, like, this is
Yeah,
too much.
out your mouth. I'm really shocked that you just
I
said
was
just,
like, I didn't have any problem with Reilly. I thought
yeah,
Reilly was a great competitor.
yeah.
Like, but to be clear, like, I was like, it was, he made a shrine. They had a pineapple baby together. I was like, and you're telling me all of a sudden you were like never interested in her. We had a conversation in the hammock where you were talking about how much you like her. Like, I am just so sick of it. Like, here's the deal. Like, and no offense, Matt, as you basically say, no offense. Like, the truth is like, you underperformed. That's it. Right? You underperformed. That's it. Right? Like, and I like, and to me, like, I am sitting here thinking to myself, like, there is no doubt, right? Like, that he sat there and basically like took a punishment instead of taking a trip to Paris where he was going to compete for the Olympics. I was like, there is no planet, right? Like, I am just like, it's too much. But somehow, post Big Brother, he is like, I threw every competition. I didn't want to win anything. I was totally fine. Like, I knew I was a big threat. And here's the truth. The one thing that he said that was right in that interview was like, if my like the reason his game was saved is because my team backstabbed me. Period. That is the only truth that happened in that interview.
Mm,
And I don't care what the other person says. Like, man, like, everyone's like, Hisam was egotistical. Hisam is like this. Hisam is like that. I was like, no, I'm not that way. Like, and the fact that he said like everyone was uncomfortable with me being in the room, I was like, I've just had enough. I was like, I can't. I
yeah.
can't.
I'm just surprised your name was brought up. That's why I
Yeah,
was like,
I was like, and my name is continually brought up, and I have no idea why,
yeah,
right? Like, I am minding my own business. I am trying to put positive energy in the world, and I do not know. Like, every time Matt does an interview, my name comes up all the time,
yeah,
right? Like, Matt, keep my mouth out of your name. I don't need you to be talking about me,
yeah,
right? And the only reason my name ever comes up is he's like, I was the strongest competitor, and the fact that Hyson beat me is because, like, that one competition I beat him in where I threw it to him so I could paint a big target on his back. I've just had enough. Like, I was like, come on. I was like, Matt, we don't have to win the first competition. I was like, you think that, like, in all honesty, like, I don't have to win the first competition. And I
yeah,
was like, and I will tell you, like, if he and I were on the challenge, I would love to go against Matt. Like, as long as it's not a swimming competition, it will be a good thing to watch.
Why do you say that? As long as it's not a swimming.
Because Matt's a swimmer. Like, I'm not a collegiate swimmer, right? Like, I'm not a collegiate swimmer. And I know, right, that I'm not a collegiate swimmer.
Yeah,
Like, he will undoubtedly beat me in a swimming competition.
yeah,
However, like, I am just so sick of and tired of like this like narrative that has somehow happened after the show of like things that did not happen.
yeah,
I was like, he was very interested in Reilly. He was like not like I throw the competition to him so I can paint a target on his back, but somehow he is in delusional land, and I am like, and I just want like, and so my thing about it is like, to me, I was like, I stay out of the fray. I am not interested in this. But there is a point in time where I was like, I've heard enough interviews where Matt is constantly talking about how he is like somehow better than me and somehow more physically apt than me.
mm,
I was like, for being 46, I definitely kept up with him. And I'm happy if Reilly's on this competition and she wants to jump in, I'm happy for Reilly to basically say like her piece about like this whole Matt thing. Because like the
yeah,
truth is like he they were interested in each other. The whole reason I target Reilly and Matt is because I'm afraid of their showmance. That's
Yeah, I
it.
remember that. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. I found it very interesting, but that's why I was like, I know we usually come on this show and we talk about other things, but I was kind of like, you know, some like if somebody talks, and I'm not sitting here because I'm never taking any sides. Of course, I wasn't a part of your cast. I'm your friend, so I care about you. And I'm just like, if somebody's talking about you, I feel like we use this show to talk about things. But I'm like, yeah, of course, we don't always want to talk about Big Brother here. But I was like, like if he talked about you and I remember you were kind of like, no, that's not what happened. And I'm kind
It's
of like,
not what happened.
yeah,
And it's like, and I am like so sick and tired of this like revisionist narrative of like, so that
yeah,
it somehow fits that he was like this uber athlete that basically had to like throw his whole game away so that people didn't find him a threat. And I was like, oh, for God's sakes, like, come on. I was like, you
yeah,
were beat fair and square in multiple competitions, even when you were trying.
yeah. Well, I think this is why I kind of wish that they were, I wish that the Challenge USA was doing, what they should have done, which is like, I was excited for Challenge USA because it gave players an opportunity just from CBS shows alone to compete again and then be able to do these opportunities of being able to go after each other. I also found it very interesting because I didn't know, which I'm not bummed about it, but I was kind of a little bit shocked. When I talked to Zach and them on their podcast, they were making it clear that only people that were coming on their podcast were people that did the challenge, and that I was supposed to be the first person, spoiler alert, to come and do their podcast to respond to the interview that, I told you about that the Cookout members did. And I was like, oh, great. I definitely want to come and spill the tea and then answer questions because it was questions around me not being on the challenge and all this other stuff, and why we talked about it, why all the members of Cook I got a chance to play but me. So I was just kind of like interested because I didn't know he already
Yeah.
had somehow he
Listen,
lined up.
if Reilly is still here and we can invite Reilly, we should
No,
invite Reilly.
they definitely, after that interview, I mean, they definitely should invite Reilly, but I mean, I like I said, I think that's something that she'll have to speak on her own terms and feel comfortable whatever she decides and stuff
If
like that.
Is Reilly in the room?
I don't know if she is or not. I can't tell if she is.
If
Yeah,
she's in the room, bring her on.
yeah, I don't think that she is. I can't really see it. I think that she was here for a second, but I don't know. But I'm not going to make, well, of course, we don't want to make this all about Matt and stuff like that. And I know that, like I said, I want to make it clear. I know for me, ain't no beef. I don't know any of these people. I'm still
No,
learning
and I don't
everybody.
have listen,
Only
and I don't have listen, and I don't have any beef. Like literally, I mind my own business, right? Like I don't say crap about anyone, right?
yeah,
Like I literally mind my own business,
yeah,
right? Like I am keeping to myself.
yeah.
And the fact that my name constantly is brought up as the butt of the joke, I am like so sick and tired
I
of it.
get.
Like I'm so sick and tired of like literally being the butt of every joke. Like,
I relate.
oh,
I
and
told
I
you.
am like,
I dealt with that
and
shit.
it's not necessary. And it's not
It's
necessary. I
not.
haven't said shit about anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I get it. Hisam, I'm still to this day still the butt of the joke of shit. Like I get it. It's very annoying, and you have to speak up sometimes. And that's why I was like, hey, before we get into our normal show, I'm like, do you want to get some things off your chest that I feel like you haven't got a chance, and maybe they'll call you to
No,
come.
I
To,
don't listen. I am too busy to actually go to Detroit to basically do a podcast. No offense,
right.
right? Like no offense.
I get that.
I am like too
Yeah.
busy, right? Like to basically do that. I'm working on lots of things, minding my own
Yeah.
business, right? Like so
Yeah.
like I am just like to me, it's just like Matt, like instead of like let's say he beats me fair and square. He beats me fair and square in the kicking butt competition.
Yeah.
I was like, congratulations, you beat me in one
Yeah.
competition. Like if you like really want to do something, like compete in the Olympics, brother. Like that's what you were doing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
instead of going on the podcast, qualify for the Olympics like you said you were going to.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Also, this is
And
everybody's.
thank you, Fishman. I do know it's going to be okay. I will smile. It's just like one of these things. It's like, here's the question. It's like, when is enough enough? Right? Like, when is enough enough? Like, when do you hear, like, I had kept my mouth sealed, right? Like, about everything,
Yeah,
right? Like, I have kept it sealed
of
because,
course.
like, I don't want to get involved with all of this, but like, to like constantly be sent these interviews that Matt does about like how like I was upset that he beat me, or how I was like this asshole, or how I was like what Matt like. What really bothers me, there were moments when the camera was not on, right? When the camera was not on, that Matt never talks about,
Mm,
right? Right? Like, where he never talks about it. And it's like there were things that Matt and I shared that were never discussed, right? That he somehow basically makes it sound like there was nothing. And so to me, it's just kind of like, and he sends me a text afterwards, basically being like, I'm sorry for the way I treated you. And then basically goes on all of these podcasts and then continues this narrative.
mm,
So I'm like, and I was like, I accepted the apology. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, you didn't treat me that great. Right.
yeah.
And so, like, to me, it's like, I wish Matt the most success. I really do. Like, I want him to be like, to have success. But like, can you do it without dragging my name through the mud? Like, can you do it without basically like constantly bringing me up? Because,
Yeah.
like, honestly, there's no need to bring me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only
Yeah.
reason I keep getting brought up is because, like, when it came to competitions, I beat Matt several times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's going to say, like, he didn't want to win any of those competitions, right? Like, I wasn't even trying, right? Okay, that's a nice narrative now that you basically are like, anyway.
I don't know what. Let me tell you something. I don't like to. I try my best not to talk about BB. I don't know what it is with your cast these last 2 weeks, with all this stuff coming out of nowhere. I'm kind of like, me being the fan that I am. I'm kind of like, where was all this when y'all got out the house? Like, bitch, it's about to be a new cast. No more, like, of course, we all got to go through it. Like, there's going to be a new cast. Everybody's going to move on. It's just interesting that, like, now we're coming up to the BB season in July, and now all of a sudden, all this stuff is coming out with y'all cast, and I'm kind of like, where was this when we needed this last year? Because I was kind of like, you know what I said? I said, y'all were boring as hell after y'all season, but now all of a sudden it's like everybody want to turn up. I'm hearing stuff about, which I don't know anything about, America and Corey and Jared and Sheree, now Matt and Reilly, and now you. I'm just like, where's all this stuff coming from? What in the hell? Like, what's happening? Did the solar eclipse cause this to all? Like, what? I'm like, where were y'all bitches last year when we were sitting here bored? Like, what's going on? And everybody was like, we're just not done with each other. Now, all of a sudden, all this shit's coming out. But, Hisam, I want to tell you, I understand what it feels like to be the butt of the joke constantly and not being able to speak up a lot. That's why I speak my mind all the time. You know that. So, of course, this us being our show that we do on Instagram every Tuesday, I'm like, I need you to be full Hisam. And I'm like, I just need you to just vent, because I know what it's like. You don't get a chance to talk. You're not going on no podcast. You're not even thinking about it. But then, when your name's brought up, I'm kind of like, all right, girl, do you want to speak? Because I feel like, it's fair for you to speak once somebody says something about you. That's why I'm
Yeah,
going to
I
go
mean,
do the podcast,
my whole
because
yeah,
the cookout's always making me the joke of shit. So I'm like, let me go on this fucking podcast and show y'all what the real truth is and talk.
yeah, and I mean, the thing about it is that, like, I often rise above this,
Yeah,
right? Like, I often rise above this,
yeah,
and the reason is because it just doesn't matter that much to me.
yeah,
But the thing about it is that, like, to me, it's just like, Matt, just stop talking about me, right? It's
yeah.
really that simple, right? Like, it, your narrative of sort of what happened in the house, not true. The other thing you could do is, like, no, like, not speaking for her, but you could also stop talking about Reilly, right? Because, like, the truth of the matter is, like, you haven't talked to her,
We
right,
can
since she left the season.
say this. I will not giving him the benefit of the doubt. like I said, Zach and I think it's Nicholas. You know, their podcast is messy. So a podcast is asking the messy questions. It depends on how you answer it. You know, it is. It's just how you answer it. But this is a lesson that some people need to learn. How you answer questions could end up hurting someone or offending somebody. And for example, like you felt offended by what he was saying, and now you're responding. So it's just one of those things where, you know, it comes into play where you have to learn. And some things, like, trust me, some people ask me some questions. I mean, I usually don't avoid them because I don't care. I'm like, me and you are the same. I don't care. I'm going to answer them. But some people ask questions and then they avoid them. So there could have been certain questions, or there's a way you could have said, it's a way you could have responded. I think it's just hard when there's a lot of receipts, and I think that's where it's coming into play of the whole situation. But in other news, Hisam, you look
Thank
amazing.
you.
What over the rainbow? We talk about anything we want to talk about. We decided to talk about some BB stuff because I wanted Hisam to be able to vent and just give his forte, because, you know, that's Hisam. I love him. He's my brother. I care about him, so I want to make sure he's able to respond to things. But I don't know what our topic is tonight. We can
You know,
talk.
you know what I was gonna bring up? I was
Yes.
like, when is it appropriate to basically address this kind of like when do you address this, right? Like, I think the thing about it is, like, if I address every single time that someone did me wrong, right? Like, I would consume my whole life,
Yeah.
right? And so the question is like, when do you actually address these types of things? And I do think, like, as being part of the LGBT community, we are the butt of the joke often,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I remember, like, so I used to do improv, right? So I used to do comedic improv, and I remember going to a lot of comedic improv shows where I was like, oh man, I'm going to learn how to do improv. I'm going to watch other improv.
Yeah.
And notoriously, every single time, like, things got stale or things got weird, the improvers would make, like, being gay the butt of
Mm,
the joke, right? Like, it would just, like,
yeah.
come to be like, oh yeah, here's gay being butt of the joke, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think that I'm just, like, getting to the point where I'm just like, as someone who has been a part of the LGBT community, as someone who basically, like, has been the but like, when do you basically say it? Like, when do you confront something about it? When do you not confront? Like, when is it the time that it makes you look worse? When is the time that you actually have to fix the narrative? Like, and these are all questions that I'm thinking about. Like, you know, part of me was like, with this whole math thing, I was like, you know, Hisam, like, just don't address
Yeah.
it, right? Like, just don't deal with it, right? Like, it will eventually go away, right? But then the second thing is, like, this has been going on long enough, right? It has been, like, brought up multiple
Mm,
times, right? That to me, it's like, at some point in time, do I need to address it? Are people going to think that this actually really happened? And if I don't say
yeah.
something, are people going to believe this happens? And then the third thing, in my opinion, was like, I don't want them to think that we as the LGBT people shouldn't stand up for ourselves when people say the wrong thing,
I,
right? Like, and when people, like, treat us badly. And maybe if I wasn't part of the LGBT community, I would basically be like, whatever. But I'm tired of basically with heterosexual men, no offense to any of them out there, who basically believe just because they're heterosexual that they are stronger competitors than gay men,
oh,
right?
yeah, that
Like
is wow. Okay,
and
there's our.
I am just tired of that narrative that
I
just
agree with
because
that.
you are heterosexual means that, like, somehow you are somehow superior
Yep.
to homosexual men in
Yes.
competitions. That's not true.
Yes.
That's not
And
true.
I think this plays into what you know, for example, you have Corey Lay, who made it to the finals on the challenge. And the thing about it, you also have Tyler from back in the day, who won with Johnny Bananas on his season. The thing about it that I kind of, which I always hate, is that there's never enough gay men on a season to play together to kind of uplift other gay men. And then also, on top of that, yeah, like, we're always the butt of the joke, or we're never seen as the threat. Like, people don't understand. When I look at Corey Lay, for example, Corey Lay made it to the finals. He's also someone who's big and strong that can take out a lot of these men. But it's just weird that a lot of, like, the competition shows don't like to make more than one gay person, because, for example, I would love to go on the challenge and sit there and, like, be able to uplift other gay men and be there to play, and also take out some of these men, because at the end of the day, even with me hanging out with Bessie, I love him to death. I told Bessie to his face, I will I will slam you on this ground. Like, I would love to have a moment to do that, but I just feel like we don't get those edits or get those moments. It's like we have to be the butt of the joke, or we have to be the ones that are like arguing just with the female, and that's what we're known for arguing with the female. But if we sit there and check the men, or we're ready to fight the men, it's like they don't want to show that, or they don't want to give us that opportunity, which is annoying because I hate that, because I'm so like want to like, it's ridiculous. And I agree with what you're saying.
Well,
I do.
when did heterosexual men just naturally think that they are just somehow physically superior
Because of
to gay men?
the
Like,
shows,
when did that happen?
because of the shows, because of production, there has not. I can't think of a maybe. I feel like the physical elimination that Corey did, I feel like he did it against another gay man. I have not seen like other gay people in general on the challenge where there's like more than two of them that could sit there and at least take out a lot of the straight men. Because if you put someone like me, you put Corey Lay, you put yourself, you put Hisam, you put Bryce, if you put a bunch of us on a season together and play the challenge, I think things will go different, because none of us will back down from taking out any of the fucking men, but nobody will give that chance. And same thing with the lesbians. I don't want to count our sisters too. There's never more than one. It's always like a bisexual, like one gay person, and the bisexual is like a girl.
Right. And here's what I'll tell you. On my season, there wasn't anyone I was afraid of.
Yeah,
Not one,
yeah,
right? There wasn't anyone I was afraid of.
yeah, yeah,
I thought I could beat everybody.
yeah.
That was probably part of my problem, right? It's like, I just was like, in my mind, I was like, like when you get an assignment and you're like with a group of people and you're like, okay, I just have to do the assignment.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how I
yeah.
felt, right? That's literally like, and Mimi said something really interesting, which is they're like, why didn't you make like more alliances? And Mimi was like, because I couldn't
No,
trust them, right? They were making terrible
no.
choices. And that's exactly how I felt. And the whole reason why I was being as like dogmatic about everything was I was like, this is what we have to do in order
Yeah,
to make it through. Like, and here's the truth. Like, there wasn't anyone I was afraid of.
yeah.
Not one person, right? And so I don't know why, like all
Why
of
is
a sudden, like this,
it?
this.
I agree. I think it's a thing because people think that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, every gay person is different, and I think they think because when you're gay, we're like
We
fragile and we
are not
can't.
less than.
No, we're not less than.
We are not less than.
I wish, I wish I had that mind frame. I was like, I'm scared to go against any of these motherfuckers in these puzzle challenges. But I made it clear, I have never been afraid of any of those motherfuckers in my house or any of the people on the past seasons of Big Brother or the challenge to go against anybody physically. I have made that clear. Physically, I will fuck anybody to fuck up. And I've made that clear. But other than that, a puzzle, yeah, I'm scared of everybody. I'm scared of puzzles. I'm scared of something with running for sure. But anything physically, I'm not scared of anybody. And that's where I think we need to like kind of change these shows moving forward. We do need to show more of our community as lesbians, transgenders, as gay men, as everybody, because we need something different. I'm tired of seeing the same old people work doing the same thing, but we should not be thought less of because of the fact of what we are. And not saying that it's their fault. Not, and this is not saying that we're blaming this on one person. This is just over the course of time of how these reality shows have been over the course of time, have now made it seem like when it comes to, I don't know, the gay men, like we're fragile, or the gay women were
Gay men
fragile.
consistently, even on Big Brother, do a good job, right? Like Michael Bruner in 24, Frankie Grande in 16,
Yeah,
and then Ranger
of
Games. Like
course.
it's not that we are not good, strong competitors. It's just like for some odd reason, like the narrative is when it comes to these heterosexual men, when they compare themselves, like that somehow we are less than,
Yeah,
right? That
I don't know.
somehow we are like are not that we are not on the same level as them,
Yeah,
right? Despite winning, despite accomplishing, despite like showing them that we can beat them, for some odd reason, they just believe, right? Like that we are somehow not good enough.
can I say this? I think
Say
what's
it.
the one thing I've kind of put pieces together, and I'm gonna say it because I'm 3 years out, still haven't got a call. I think production is a little bit scared to let us have that storyline of a bunch of gay men or gay women on a season running the show, maybe making out, maybe having sex, maybe doing all the things that the heterosexual people would do. I don't think they want their viewers to do that. And I think they're a little bit nervous that they would lose viewers based on because of the fact that you have a lot of younger generation watching, and not saying that the younger generation should be okay with the way that we are, but I think they're worried about that. I'm not gonna lie, because until I see a challenge season where there's more than just one gay person and there's more than a POC of a gay person, and the same thing with the lesbian, there's no way you're ever going to change my mind until I see it. Until I walk in the challenge house and I can sit there and say, oh, Corey's here. Oh, Hysam's here. Oh, Bryce is here. Oh, this person's here. Oh, that person's there. Oh, look at the lesbians. Oh, this. Until I see a bunch of us in the house when it comes to the challenge, it's going to be the same old bullshit. A bunch of damn heterosexuals, one bisexual, one gay person, and that's what it is. Or maybe two gay person, one lesbian, one gay person, or somebody, oh, I'm coming out to be bisexual. That still is not like one of the girls like us. Okay. Until I see some changes, I don't really, it's going to be the same rotating door constantly, because it doesn't make no sense to me now that we're in 2024 that we have not, there's so many of us to pick from. But keep in mind, there's also a look that they go for.
Here's
So
here's what I'll tell you.
change
I
of look.
I would be okay. Like my thing about it is like I want people to know that I'm a strong competitor regardless of me being gay.
Yes,
That,
I agree with that.
that's this is my issue. My issue is it's like, yes, being gay is part of my life, right? But it is not who I am, nor does it decide how competitive I can be. And I can show you, right, that I can beat you,
Yeah.
right? Like I am a very competitive person, which is like what you saw in Big Brother. It brought all of that competitiveness out of me. And I am a very strong
Yeah.
competitor because I like to win. And so to me, it's like I don't need like I just want people to know like if Hisam is in the game, he is dangerous,
Yes.
right? Like as a competitor. And that has nothing to do with the fact that he's like gay or not. But
I love you to
every
death.
so often it's like Hisam's gay, he can't be a competitor.
Yeah, I love you.
It's like,
Listen, I
what
love
is
you
up
to
with
death.
that?
I love you to death. But unless you are validating and helping me get to the end, I'm getting rid of your ass. I love you to death, but you can't be here. Unless you're working for me, you gotta go. But I know you're a great competitor. I know that you're a threat. But I think that gays get this stigma that we're dainty and we can't play the game. But this is why I said there needs to be more of us in a game than just one person or two. Like why is there 16 heterosexual men? And then it's like, here's one. And I'm like, why is there not like five of us? That's weird to me. It's a weird energy, and it gives off, especially on these networks that are supposed to be very like, we're all about the gay community and we're all about, rights and da da da. It's not giving that
well,
anymore. And it's
well, the thing that was interesting to me, like if we're going to talk about another game, Squid Games, the challenge, right, had like several gay competitors and multiple gay
multiple,
people towards the end, right?
multiple,
Like interestingly, right? Like interestingly, like compared to the fact that it's like, maybe like 6% were gay competitors, multiple of them went to the very end, including number 2 and number 3, right? Like, and I
multiple.
just think that like people forget, like somehow, I don't know why people forget like that we are just as capable. Just because like we sleep with men, like doesn't mean like we can't beat men in competitions.
And, and it's very difficult to sleep with men. It's not.
Huh?
It's very difficult to sleep with men.
Yeah,
It's very.
it
Could
can
you
be.
imagine?
It
First of all,
can
I'm
be.
not picking up a. Can you imagine picking a woman? Some women are. I mean, I would say this. A lot of women are light. Can you imagine picking up a man and you got to do what you need to do? Yeah, it's not easy. It's difficult. Like that's why I'm like, come on now. It's crazy to me. But I think until we have those changes, nothing's gonna change. But this is why I think me and you both are so not hungry, but we want to compete again because I feel like we have to do it for ourselves. It's not about everybody else, but it is about, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. It is about our brothers and sisters in the community because of the things that they tell us. Like, we hear so many people that relate to us and so many people that want to see us do things and want to see us compete again. So it's like I feel like I owe it to them and also to myself to show them, motherfuckers, I got this. Let me show you something I can do. Because sometimes when you go on these shows, they don't allow you to do everything that you can do. You go on Big Brother and you might win a bunch of competitions and then you're out early in the game. You don't get a chance to even show what else you can do. Do you have someone like me that's like none of the games were even fair to my size? And then it's like, okay, well, all I can show is a social game and what I can do.
You know,
So it's like, it's hard.
yeah. My thing about it is like it's when you say to someone like, "Wow, you're really good for a girl,"
Yeah,
or like, "You're really
yeah,
good for a gay," right?
yeah,
It's like, no, I'm just really good,
yeah.
right? Like that. That's what it is. I'm just really good,
Yeah,
right? That's it, right? Like the period.
yeah,
The period is there. Really good, right?
yeah.
Anyway, we should probably bring someone on before
Yes.
we
Oh
like
my
go.
God. Sorry.
If
Just
someone would like to join us, or if anyone has any questions.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And I know this is gonna be all over Twitter. And so, like, to me, it's just kind of like my one request, right? My one
yeah,
request to you, Matt, if you see this, just stop talking about me, right? It's that simple. Just stop talking about me, right? There's nothing to talk about.
yeah,
It's that simple.
yeah. My request to Matt is keep talking, giving me more content to talk about. And I need to figure out why you bitches are late because this is all like Big Brother 26 is coming up, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to let you guys know y'all not going to be the talk of the town with PB26. So I'm just like, why is this coming late? But no, we're not just talking about Matt. We're just talking about in general when it comes to the heterosexual community and how we're treated. But yes, please, anyone come up if you have questions. Our conversation tonight was just, Hisam venting about, some things he heard and just talking about how the dynamics of these competition shows, why is there never more than one? And I wouldn't be surprised because, Big Brother, they love trying to prove me wrong. And I love them to death because they're my family. I wouldn't be surprised if this season, if there was more than one gay person on the season, just so they can shut me the fuck up. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just Big Brother. I'm talking about, because Survivor does well with it. Survivor does a lot of different people. Like you said, Squid Games, The Circle did. But the challenge is struggling with that type of dynamics, and Big Brother is also struggling too. Like, I just feel like those are the two, so they need to work it out. And I don't mean just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
I don't
they
mean
said,
like a
like,
hype them and an Izzy. I'm talking about like when those 8 guys move in that house. 4 of them, 3 of them are gay, 1 of them are bi, the rest of them are straight. Like that's what I'm talking about. That's what we need.
yeah,
So please, anybody that
I
wants to
think,
come
like,
join,
my
join.
thing is, like, I just wanted people to see me as a strong competitor. That
Tyson,
was it,
you are,
right? Regardless of being gay or not, I just wanted people to see like that gay men are strong
yes,
competitors. That was one
Tyson,
of the things
you
I
are.
wanted to prove on the
Baby,
show. That was it.
you went on Big Brother. You're a strong competitor, okay? Anyone that can get through Big Brother, period. I don't care if you're there for a week,
Well, I was
two
out
weeks.
after week 3.
Anybody that goes through that strenuous process of production, being cut off from the world, being in that house, is a very, very strong competitor. And that's why I said I wish that we could find, like, I wish the Challenge USA was still going, because I feel like that was opportunities for all of us to be able to compete, because the Challenge MTV is not opening the doors for everybody to compete. I had hope. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, everybody in CBS can now go play and be competitors and show stuff like that. But people getting picked should be picked on, number one, are they good competitors? Yes. Number two, are they entertainers? Yes. Number three, are they going to bring drama? Yes. Also, like, that's people that also come in second place. Sorry, but yes, deserve to compete again. That's
Derek,
crazy. That's
you're basically casting you.
still trying to figure it out. But I'm telling you, the first network that casts me and gives me a chance to compete again, I'm about to make everyone fucking eat their words about not a chance to compete again. Okay,
Like literally casting himself in on the show.
literally. Okay, so does anybody want to join? Because me and Heist are gonna be closing out
Yeah,
soon.
Yes, we got to wrap up soon.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up. We talked about, which that was a great topic. I think that it's 2024. Let's just see what happens and stuff like that. Let me see here.
I mean, my thing is like, do not underestimate us because of the people we sleep with. That's it.
I agree with
It's
that.
simple. Like, do not I would choose Derek in any boxing match to anyone on any cast.
Anybody, bring back the celebrity boxing. I wish they would bring back the celebrity boxing matches they do with the reality star. But sidebar, wait, I don't know if I told you this, Tyson. One of the celebrity boxing matches reached out to me. What's his name from The Circle just did it. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna, we want you to come and fight." And I said, "Sure." Like, you guys can come and fight and things like that. But um they were trying to sit there and lowball me. They were like, "Oh, we're just gonna pay you this," and then I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Hold the fuck up! If you ever gonna get me in the ring to do something, you don't understand that what's coming with it. It's not just it's Big D from Big Brother. Like you're getting Joe Frazier's son into a ring to fight. Like I'm gonna need the money from the fights, the royal, the tickets, the everything. Also, you need to pay me the money that I deserve because I'm gonna put in the work to train to put on the show." The fuck? No, it was weird. I was like, no. So no. Unfortunately, celebrity boxing matches for reality stars, absolutely not. But any other time if somebody want to catch me in the street and then you want to get it on tape, that's for free if you want. A good show.
You
Or
do not put that out there.
if, look, making it clear. Or, you put me on one of these reality shows. I just need somebody to touch me one time. I'm in the right. You touch me, I'm fucking you. I'm fucking you up straight up.
I mean,
Okay, let me see this.
after you were made into a boxer thanks to
Oh,
MTV, how could
shut up. We're gonna do one person, then we're gonna go. We're gonna go. Let's see here. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
No way. No way. No way.
Hi.
Oh, oh
how
my gosh.
are you?
Okay.
Hello.
Speak.
Hi.
Speak, my young brother. Speak.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
oh my gosh.
Yes. Can you hear
Hey
us?
guys. Yeah, I
Hi.
can hear you.
Great.
Can you hear
Hi.
me? Hi.
What's your
My
name?
name's
Hi.
Josh. This is crazy. You have no idea. I'm such a fan of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you? You don't gotta tell us where you're from, but
Well, I'm near you, Derek. I will say I
okay,
am. Yeah.
good. Okay. How
hmm
old are you, John?
What?
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go
Okay.
13. Got it. Okay. Love that. Okay.
I will be on BB30. Mark my words.
Okay. Okay.
You
Yes.
let's manifest BB29 because we're hoping 30 is going to be an all stars.
Oh,
Okay.
look
Okay.
at you.
He'll be all stars.
So, Josh,
I'm
All
trying
right.
to
have
get
you been
production.
listening in? Yes. Have you been
What?
listening, Josh?
What'd you say?
Have you been listening in?
Yes, I
Okay.
have. I have. I just
What are your
I just joined like
other?
2 minutes ago though.
Oh,
But I agree
okay.
with everything you guys say about the challenge though.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Okay, BB29, we love that for you.
29.
Okay, let me ask you, what are your what are you into? Are you straight? You gay? You bi?
Straight.
Okay, that's fine. We love that. We love bitches over here too. We love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so BB29 for you, Josh. Okay. Um, what's your thoughts on, just I mean, we've been talking about a lot of things. You have any thoughts or
I
anything
just
you
joined like
want
2 minutes ago. But it's just real cool to see you guys though, because like I've been watching your seasons. I love the cookout. Hisam, I loved your moves in the game, even though they weren't the best, but you still made waves though, you know? You still made it
How are you
entertaining.
on my show and telling me?
You oh my gosh, like I'm literally rooting for both of you though.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe,
Thank
They
maybe in
were
the
the
future we're gonna pray and hope for it. But Josh, it was so
you.
nice
Nice
talking to you.
meeting you, brother.
Please
It
be
was
nice
safe,
good
meeting you guys
meeting
safe
too.
out there. Stay in school,
you.
get your
I
degree,
will.
go to college, and then you can do BB29. And if BB makes it past BB30 after All Stars, when I shut it down, then you could do
When you
BB.
shut it down. All right.
All right,
Okay.
Okay, see,
Josh.
All
see
right.
ya.
You.
Hey, Josh.
Bye.
It's
I
so.
always forget how young people are, like compared to me.
Oh, I know. I know. It's
I
really
am 30 years older than Josh.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
I have socks older than Josh.
Speaking of socks, is Ramadan over?
It ends today. Well, maybe today, right? Like maybe today.
Oh, that's why you look so refreshed. Got your hair
Yeah,
cut.
I was like, so I won't be talking to anyone tomorrow.
Oh, except for the socks. I know, except for the socks tomorrow. I cannot believe it. I'm gonna do a whole load once you done. Okay. I can't get over that. Oh, you know what, Hisam? This was a great conversation. You know, I'm glad you were able to speak. I know you normally don't like to speak. I know you don't like to care, but you know, as your friend, I can't let somebody just like I said, I don't know the kid. You know, I don't have a problem with the kid. The kid is sweet.
I didn't
Um,
have a problem with him
no,
either
no,
until
no, but I
I
just can't let
died.
somebody talk about you. I just can't let somebody talk about you and us not address it. But then it opened up the conversation to a bigger issue and topic that happens in our industry. And this is why we do this live show on Instagram for free, where you guys don't have to send us money on TikTok,
Mm-mm.
you know. And you know, it brought up a bigger conversation of things that are bigger to why we do this, because you know, I think with me and you, we don't have a filter. We're not going to bullshit, we're not going to lie to you, we don't have anything to hide. We've owned up our wrongs, and we also own, you know, praise our rights. So I think that I'm glad that we did talk about this, because now that I sit down and think about it, I'm like, yeah, what are these shows going to do in the future to switch up these storylines? Because I'm just kind of over it. And here's the thing, I will say this. Even though there are a couple, I feel like we do need more lesbians on the show. I have seen more lesbian storylines on the challenge than gay storylines, which is interesting. I just thought about that. Now that I think about like Nani and Casey and you
I
know, Carmen,
wish that I
Laura and Nicole, and I'm thinking about
yeah,
all that.
storylines didn't revolve around our gayness, right? Like
That
I
too.
wish that they revolved around like our competitiveness, right? Like that's what I care about, right? Like I just want like it more than us just being gay. I just wish that they could see us as like strong, able-bodied competitors, right? Like I don't need to be on the challenge because I'm gay. I need to be on the
No,
challenge because I'm
I'm sorry, I had to
competitive.
disagree with you. No, I do need you. No, no. Production wise, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, we do need to be on the challenge because we're gay, because we're representing for the gay people that have not got a chance to play. And it needs to be more of us. So yes, we do the fact need to be on the challenge because we're gay, and show once we're there why we're competitors or whatever. Like I know for a fact, you go on the challenge, you going far. Me for a fact, I'm not going far. I'm just there to take out and hit bitches and cause them issues and problems and call people out on this shit and make everybody's life a living hell. I don't want to go to the final. I'm good on that note. I don't need that. None of that.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm just there to fuck
Stephanie,
shit up.
there's one person who wants to join named Stephanie. Maybe we should bring them up and then wrap everything up.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna kill you because you know I'm trying to get off of here. You're making me late.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't spend 15 minutes on the toilet.
Toilet, whatever you're talking about. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Can you
We
hear
were
us?
hanging out.
He
Oh
does.
my God, we were. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I sent you a message because I was like asking if you were going to be at the one this year. I mean, in May, next month.
Are you going to be there,
I
Derek?
should.
Please do, because I'd love to hang again.
I know. We had such
I'm
a good
sorry.
conversation.
I'm sorry, Hisam. I didn't mean to make this about Derek
No,
and I.
it's totally fine. I always love to basically reconnect people. I love.
No. This is not just about a Survivor thing, because there's plenty of BB people that are there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should be there. Yes. I don't see why not.
I
It's
was
in
like, I
Philly.
need to hang out with Derek again. We had
I
so
know
much fun.
I think people don't understand. Like, you hang out with me, we having a good time.
Oh yeah.
I'm not like the rest of
Yeah,
these other
even
big.
if there aren't a lot of people who show up to a basketball game, Derek still had a good time.
Whatever. I know, because I couldn't go to the challenge thing. We went to see the eclipse, so I didn't
Oh
go to that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I couldn't go because I was on my way back from Pittsburgh and stuff because they
Oh,
wanted me to come.
oh yeah, I saw you were there.
Yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, I should be there in Philly. So I go to Chicago in 2 weeks for the first time. So I'm
So
excited
busy.
to see Chicago. I'm going to Detroit for one day, then Chicago for the rest of the time. And then I go to Boston after that for the Survivor event. All these are Survivor events. And then I go
So
to
fun.
yes. And then
They
I was
really are.
talking to Ozzy the other day because I told Ozzy that I think she should only do like 3 places this year for Big Brother. I don't want her overdoing it like she did before. So, coming up with places for that. But other than that, yeah, I should be, Steph. And then we could
Cool.
talk. I feel like we have some more tea we could talk about.
Oh
So
my gosh. Yeah, I know. It wasn't enough time last time.
I know. But I will see you then. But I'm not sure if you've been here all night. Do you want to add anything to the conversation or
I
anything
mean,
like that?
I've been commenting a lot. I just wanted to say, like, Hisam, I don't think that you, from just watching the show, I don't think you need to prove anything to anybody. I think you
Yeah.
are a great competitor. I don't think, whether you're straight or gay, you needed to prove anything. I don't think. I was like, I kept typing, and I'm like, no, you don't need to prove anything. You were a great competitor. I don't think anybody doubted that at all. It was just, I think they knew you were a threat and they needed to get you out.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
that was the whole point. Everybody knew that
I
you
agree.
were an issue. You were going to be a problem. They needed
Yeah.
to get you out.
Yeah, you were, and yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
And Matt, if Matt's changing his story left and right, like I said in the chat, I'm like, well, who's the real Matt? Like,
mm,
he just keeps, changing who he is. And maybe his issue is he is triggered by the fact that, somebody from the LGBT community got one over on him.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
And has a good enough chest too, right?
Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And is a better dancer, probably.
I would love to see. I would love to see Matt in Hisam and a different type of game. If you
How
get what
about
I
like
mean.
burlesque to see if they can compete?
Oh, that's not a competition, right? Like
What?
Matt will be in, but I will be for burlesque.
I'm trying here.
There's no
because we're taking
right?
out the
That's
Derek. Because we know that swimming is out.
Yeah, swimming is out.
We already
Matt,
decided that. Swimming is out. So I'm just trying to think of, just random things. Like, I don't know, burlesque.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if we're just talking about random thing, we could do darts. Although I'm a really good dart player too, actually.
To say that. Yeah, random things like darts. Yeah. Where you totally don't have an advantage.
I don't really.
You don't play darts?
No.
It's not
I've always, when it comes to Big Brother, Big Brother is I can't call it like it's like a house, like where you're playing house games. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I don't really see, because I want to see. I don't know, maybe because I'm from the hood. Like I'm more of like, I want to see more like, even if it's like puzzles or running or athletics or physical stuff, like I want to see that. I want to see people go against each other in that than Big Brother. Because Big Brother games are like walk a beam. Who gets there the fast wins.
With slime being thrown at your face. Don't forget that.
What?
I said with slime being thrown at your face. Don't forget that.
That's true. And not saying those things are easy, because the Big Brother games are hard, but they're like, they're meant to be like funny, and it's like some of us come in like,
they're not like. Here's what I think. I think that people underestimate that these games can be a little bit more physical.
Can I tell you the games I like? You ready, Hisam?
What?
The Survivor games. I feel like, though, I wish Big Brother had the Survivor games. They get
different show, darling.
They do other wars and shit like that. Like I'm over it. Let me not. I'm gonna get triggered. I'm gonna get triggered.
Right. It was good
More
talking
in
to you.
Well,
person.
even that's starting to get like repetitive. Even the Survivor stuff starting to get repetitive because people can practice at home, make their own like puzzle. And don't get me wrong, because I love Carson and like all his puzzles and stuff like that. So this is not anything
Nope.
against him, but I'm saying people can practice at home, have an advantage, and then go on the show and just replicate what they've already done at home. So you already have, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, you're not doing the contest cold. You're going in with knowledge. It should, I think it should almost be, you know, I mean the challenge stuff, I think the challenge stuff is really
No, it
hard. Like
is for sure.
that
But
really
some
tests you.
but when you walk out and you do these challenges, there's so many different type of components that you
Absolutely.
never know what you're gonna be good
Yes.
at. That's what makes it frustrating about Big Brother, because it's like you can have one shot and that's it. Like, or it's something stupid or gimmicky. And not saying they're easy, because I know doing the wall was fucking difficult as
Yeah.
shit. I'm doing these spinning in the fucking heat over and over again is difficult as shit. So not saying they're easy. I just think they're very like housey type of games. And that's what I'm saying. Competitors where we're all like might come from a background where we all play sports or things like that, or we feel like we're good at shit. That's why I feel like for them getting rid of or whatever, because I don't know what's going on. I think it's done. I feel like it's done. Like with them not giving us the Challenge USA when I think it was building to something.
Yeah.
People like Hisam, myself, Matt, other people, other opportunities to come and compete and then show what they can do even more, you know, compared to a one and done like HOH com. So, but
It's
Steph,
back on the show, Derek.
well,
There's always an All Stars coming, and probably another Ranger
bitch,
Games. So
unless they calling me to be the Grinch, that's the only way I'm going. I don't want to be a Santa's helper. I want to be known as the Grinch coming into the house.
don't
But
worry.
that happen. They keep on calling the same old people over and over
You
again.
don't know. You don't know. You
Okay.
don't.
Well, Steph, we're gonna let you go because I got to run.
That's so
All right,
I will
much.
honey. It
see
was
you
good
soon,
seeing you,
Steph.
and hopefully I'll see you next month in
Yes,
Philly.
absolutely.
Okay. Bye,
Bye.
All right.
Hisam. Take care. Thank you so much for having me
Of
on.
course.
Bye.
Bye.
Such a sweetheart, such a love.
Lovely.
Yes. Oh my God. When I was at the Survivor event, me and her sat down. We were talking forever. I love talking to the fans. I would talk. I'd rather talk to the fans than
You are really good
anybody
at
else.
that. All right, we got to wrap up, Derek. It's time.
Why don't you close this out, Hisam?
All right, so thank you for coming to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. What did we learn today? We learned that Derek wants to go on another show. We learned that like Hisam wants Matt to not talk about him. And we learned, what else did we learn?
I'm sorry. What did they say on Twitter? Oh, that I'm thirsty to get on another show, and I have to get on another show, and I'm a flop.
We learned that right now? We didn't learn that.
I'm
Okay.
just repeating what
Okay.
I've
No,
heard.
I'm talking about stuff we learned
No,
today.
we definitely learned that there needs to be more diversity when it comes to the gay community on these shows, especially the challenge, especially Big Brother. And we learned that, you know, we shouldn't be just because people are straight that they could be, you know, gay people. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. So
Yeah. All right,
uh,
very good.
oh, and we also learned that Josh is going to be on BB 29, and we're praying that BB 30, me and Hisam will be back for All Stars. Hopefully, Hisam won't be too old.
If I get called, I get called. If I don't get called, I'm living my life. I have lots of things going on right now. I'm doing okay, right? Like I don't need another
Oh
thing.
yeah, we also want to know when you're dropping your OnlyFans.
Girl, we're done. All right, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.